Yo, what's going on? Welcome back to Bank Shot Basketball, where we're always keeping it 100. Today we're going to talk about Damian Lillard. That's right, we're talking about Dame time. So act like you know what time it is, okay? We're going to talk about the playoffs. We're going to go over some stats, accolades. We're covering it all, so just kick back, relax. And also this video, we're not going to be biased here. We're going to cover the good and the bad. So just wanted to throw that out there. But anyways, here we go. Alright, so as I said, we're going to be talking about the past, the present, and the future. So let's go ahead and backtrack a little bit here. So Damian Lillard, he's been with the Portland Trail Blazers for 9 seasons now. He's been averaging 24.6 points. He's been getting 6 assists and 4 boards. He's been an all-star 5 times, and he even won the Rookie of the Year award in his first season. So Damian Lillard, he's had a lot of success in Portland. He's done it all. He's gotten his team in the playoffs. He's won accolades on his own. He's done a little bit of everything. The problem for the Trailblazers hasn't been the regular season. The problem has been the playoffs. They seem to have had some bad luck in the playoffs. There's been times where they've run up against tough Warriors teams. There's been times where the Denver Nuggets have given them problems. There was even a time when the Pelicans even banged on them. So we're going to break that down a little bit more here. Alright, now don't get it twisted. As I said, the Portland Trail Blazers, they have struggled sometimes, but there's also been times where Damian Lillard has exceeded expectations and came up big. We all remember when he sent the Houston Rockets home where he hit that big shot. We all remember when he hit the big shot over Paul George. Dame time is a real thing. Respect this man, Paul George. But anyways, let's give Damian Lillard his flowers. Last year in the bubble, he was going off. He had 33 points. He was the BVP. Nobody was bursting his bubble. Now, one person that can definitely relate to Dame is Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal and Damian Lillard had an interview where they both talked about how people always want them to leave their teams, how they want them to go somewhere else. And Damian Lillard talks about how he's been with the Blazers for 9 years, how he's been invested since day one, and how he could never do something like that. But that hasn't stopped other people about talking about it. Alright, so now we get to the juicy part of the video. Now we start talking about where this drama is unfolding. Now we start talking about what's going on. There's some clock watching going on, and people are starting to predict Dame's time in Portland could be coming to an end. So as I've detailed in this video, the Portland Trail Blazers, they've had some struggles in the playoffs. People are starting to ask Dame if he's ever going to ask for a trade request. You see people like James Harden leave his team. You see other players always leaving the team. There's a lot of player movement in the NBA. So we have a quote here from Damian Lillard, and it says, "I would never do that. I mean, I don't control if the team decides to trade me somewhere. I can't control that, but it ain't for me." Damian Lillard has always been adamant about staying in Portland. He loves it there. He's always very supportive of his teammates. But that hasn't stopped people from wondering what life would be like for him outside of Portland. That's the whole reason for my video today. I started thinking about it myself, and it even got me looking up some numbers. So I got a little creative here, and I said, hey, what are his numbers without CJ McCollum? Well, without CJ, Damian Lillard has a record of 71 and 34. That's pretty big. So let's go over some more of his numbers. Is his scoring the same? Is his assists the same? His rebounds? Let's check that out. So his numbers are 24 points, 6.9 assists, and 4.5 rebounds in 105 games without CJ McCollum. Alright, so we got a big sample size there. We got 105 games. That's pretty good for evaluating. Let's see his numbers with CJ. So his numbers here with CJ aren't too different actually. 25.6 assists and 4 boards. And that's in 487 games, so that's another big sample size. Now, I brought this up for a reason. So many people are always quick to try to separate CJ and Dame. The two get along great. Their numbers together aren't that bad. CJ McCollum and Damian Lillard, they're a good 1-2 punch. You know, it's not like Damian Lillard is surrounded by a bunch of bums. The organization has surrounded Damian Lillard with some pretty good talent. As I said, he has CJ McCollum. The team recently brought in Carmelo Anthony. They made a trade for Norman Powell this year. They've always had Nurkic and even added Enes Kanter. They've also had good young players like Gary Trent Jr. before he was traded, as well as Simons. Now, if Portland is starting to evaluate their other options, if they're starting to think of other pieces for the future, Simons is a pretty good piece for them. He recently won the dunk contest. Wasn't the best one, but he has shown he's a freak athlete that can get up and make those big dunks. He's been able to hit some shots. He's a nice piece, okay? I'm not saying he's a big major piece for their future, but he's a nice piece. But let's bring it back to Dame. He's the focus of this video. So, Damian Lillard has done pretty much everything in Portland. He won Rookie of the Year, he's had All-Star appearances, he's got his team in the playoffs. Off the court, he's a big star. He has all his endorsement deals, he has his shoe deals, he's been on the cover of video games. Dame has done everything. He's done everything, and he's made it clear that if he leaves, it's not by his choice. He tweeted out, "My loyalty is my biggest flaw. I'm too solid for this weird ass era." A lot of people love Dame because he's old school. He's about his team. He's not about all this drama. He's not teaming up with other guys. He doesn't have one foot out the door. He's committed to his team. But as I said, his team's come up short. So the clock is kind of ticking on the Portland Trail Blazers. They might want to blow things up, and there are teams out there that's looking at Dame. The Knicks have recently been linked to Damian Lillard. The Los Angeles Lakers have always been linked to Damian Lillard. And teams like the Nuggets or the Heat could even make a run at him. Now, obviously, the trade would have to be pretty big. The contracts would have to match up. So there's a lot that goes into that, but these are just some of the teams. Alright, so lastly, let's go ahead and talk about the playoffs. Currently, the Portland Trail Blazers are the 7th seed, and if the playoffs started today, they would be taking on the Utah Jazz. Now, the Utah Jazz is a great defensive team, and even though the Portland Trail Blazers have a lot of weapons, I think they could put the clamps on them. Could be a bad series for them. Now, maybe if they fall down and get that 8th seed and they go up against the Phoenix Suns, that might be different. Who knows? But anyways, this was a tough video for me to make. I really support Damian Lillard. As I said, a lot of people like him because he's old school. He supports his team. How can you root against that? But anyways, what do I know? If you think differently, go ahead, put something in the comments section. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button. And as I said, I'm trying to get to 2,000 subscribers. It ain't easy. Hit that subscription button. Hit that notification button. Anyways, I'm Leezy. This has been Bankshot Basketball. We keep it 100. Everyone, have a great day.